Hello and welcome. This is a different type of a video than I'm used to doing. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video about me talking about my Warframe experience. I don't talk during my Warframe stuff because I feel like I don't add much to it. I just want to tell some stories and stuff and my thoughts on Warframe. One of them is, of course, this video will be containing spoilers for the story, so if you don't know the up to the, I think, current content, I might go all the way up to current content. But anyway, I'll start with the story that I wanted to tell. Back when the second dream came out, after the scene where your Warframe breaks the sword, when the operator goes into the chair and there's that little Pandora, get out of the way. There's that little like wave of energy that comes through. My Valkyr revived and just stood in the background idling during the rest of that scene. Because I've used Valkyr for nearly a decade now. She has been my main for nearly a decade. But yeah, when I saw that with the Warframe reviving, I thought Warframes had a will of their own, and the reason why the Warframe broke the sword is because its desire to protect you. And like I said, for me, I mained the Valkyr since I started playing the game, basically. As soon as I got her, I mained her. And for reference, I'll show my stats. Equipment. Warframe. Let's go with used. I have used Valkyr Prime this much, and I've used normal Valkyr this much. The only reason why Excalibur has that much is because I am an idiot. To put it bluntly, I am very much of an idiot. I used the Excalibur and the starting weapons and broken mods that you start with all the way up until I think all the way up until I got Valkyr. Yeah, so I used it through all of Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Phobos, Ceres, and Jupiter. Using the Mark I weapons, Escana, and broken mods. I did add other mods, but I did use the broken mods because I am not the smartest. I also, let's see. But yeah, I did that, so that's the reason why my Excalibur is so much used. But yeah, that is, I guess, two of my tales. And also, when I saw Umbra, I thought that the Warframe breaking the sword was kind of like a hint to when they would give that a launch. So that's at least my 2 cents on the whole, because I know there is a somewhat of going around with people saying that the Warframes don't have. We do know that they're people, but there's always people saying that there's a lot of theories and debates about it. But those are just my 2 cents on it. Because ever since that whole transaction, I always think of it more as a partnership, a symbiosis of 2 broken pieces. Yeah, where else was I going? Oh. And lately, the reason why I thought about doing this video in the first place is because I've been watching people play Warframe for the first time. So I got to see the new beginning, like the very new one recently, because I haven't seen it since they changed it again. I don't know how many times they've changed the beginning. I've experienced 2 of them. I experienced 1 before they did the Earth rework. I think the first Earth rework, I don't remember how many times Earth's been reworked. For reference, I started playing when Trinity Prime came out. That was when I started playing, I think. Now I have to look up to see when Trinity Prime came out. Make sure. There's gunk on my screen. Okay. Warframe. Trinity Prime. I think it was Trinity Prime. Yeah, October of 2015. I started the same year. So yeah, so next year will be me playing Warframe for 10 years. I think it was Trinity Prime. I don't remember. It was either 2015 or it might have been 2014. I think it was 2015 when I started playing this game. I really don't know, because I don't think it shows it in stats. Here we go, stats. Also, time played. That's a lie. I have add another 1,000 hours there, and that's actually my play time. Also, a lot of the quits that are there are because of bugs that were and glitches that were in the past that have now been fixed. Because back in the day, when you would do extermination, there would be a set amount of enemies, and if one of those enemies failed to spawn, you couldn't complete the mission. Or if they spawned in a wall or somewhere you couldn't get to. Since then, they made it basically so the extermination enemies spawn constantly. But back then, you couldn't really do anything about it. Yeah, I don't see where it says I first joined. Oh, I guess doing the Conclave snow event changed. Okay. Changed my kill-death ratio. But yeah, I have, I've played for almost a decade of this game. And like I said, I don't remember which was the starting I did. Because, like I said, I played the beginning again after one of the reworks on Switch and on Xbox. Since then, I've merged my accounts. But yeah, I just remember, because I was watching the new thing, and my first thought was that, for one, they removed the turret section that teaches you that you can block with your melee weapon. But then again, they've changed the melee, how it works. Because back in the day, you just, I think it was like you hold down, well, at least for controller, you hold down this whatever you have found for your switch weapon, and you would bring out your melee weapon, which you can block and channel. But I remember there was this, basically this hallway with a turret at the end, and they would just fire at you, so you would learn to block. And I saw that they removed that in the newer one. And then another thing that I saw was I remember in one of the versions that the Lotus sent you a landing craft to pick you up, but then the Grineer destroy it, and then you go and find Ordis. He's there, which if you find through the Cephalon fragments, it tells you the reason why he's there is because he detected you awakening, so he goes to pick you up. So I just thought, like, that was kind of neat that the Lotus didn't know that Ordis was still there, like still functioning, and sent one of her own landing crafts to go pick you up. And instead, the Grineer blows that up, and Ordis is there, and then you still have the same sequence where he's been stripped for parts and stuff. That I always found interesting. Yeah. What else was there? Oh, I guess I should talk about my thoughts of the Man in the Wall. Because like I said, I don't talk during my videos. I feel that me actually speaking takes away from some of it. So, and I have been meaning to do videos like this for a while, but every time I try, I always forget that when I kneel, so I can do like a little video. This is all you see. There's probably mods or some way to actually do it that I don't know about, because I am not the smartest person around. But yeah, for my intro video, I actually meant to do that. Instead, I decided I'll just do a mission, since it turned out that wasn't going to work. But anyway, back to the Man in the Wall. My feelings on the Man in the Wall is always been, from what I've gathered over the years, he's kind of like an entity that is bound that should not be bound. And he's just playing a game here. Kind of like how the gods in Warhammer, like the Chaos gods, at least the major ones, are like playing their game. It kind of feels like that is what the Man in the Wall is doing. He's playing a game, and the victory condition is his freedom. Or at least to get a piece of him back, which is his fingy. And those who do not know about his fingy, let me just get to my railjack.
True. I am ready.
Behold the fingy.
Paradox. You behold an absence. Describe it.
Did you forget? You owe me.
Because during the whole Entrati thing, when Entrati first met him, the Man in the Wall kind of lost a finger. Well, at least a Man in the Wall lost a finger. Because it kind of feels like every time he meets somebody, he creates another self. Kind of like Like, everybody he comes in contact, he creates another personality of himself, or another of him manifests into being. So we have the Tenno being manifested into one. Then we have Entrati being one. And potentially every sentient that's gone through the void has one. Which, that does bring me into another thing. During the the whole, quest line for the new war and the pre-part, I wanted to talk about Era. Because I always thought Era was actually killed in the old war, and he's been puppeted, or at least the Era that we met afterwards was a piece of, or one of the personalities of the Man in the Wall. Because, as we see back then, with the Tenno and Lotus killing Era, I always thought that, that the Man in the Wall took him down with using us and the Lotus. Basically removing a piece off the board and claiming it as his own and later on in the game. And then when we saw those little pieces, we saw him and Bolus kind of being controlled by the Man in the Wall for at least a little bit. And then after Bolus kind of went over the edge with what he was doing, the Man in the Wall decided he might as well remove a new a piece that's no longer listening to him and had Era help us. At least that's kind of how I viewed the whole Era thing, because I don't remember him having that ball in his chest and his eyes being different colored from the beginning, because he didn't have eyes, and then during the new war he did. At least in the version I remember. So my thought has always been that that Era was a piece on the wall of a Man in the Wall piece, or yeah. I'm just going around in circles now. Yeah, so I feel like the Man in the Wall, well, the Men in the Wall at this point, the people of Wall, are basically just kind of just feels like they're playing a game, with the prize being an unknown. It might be that they're stuck here, like, I've heard people saying that they might be, that they're stuck to this reality because of Entrati. So, the being might just want to go back to how it was, being unbound. Back to how it was before. Because I noticed that the being's not entirely malicious. He has tried to do things that have helped us. Like, I can see the entire reason why the Man in the Wall even did the Second War was to strengthen the Tenno, to make the Tenno stronger. Because if you want to have pieces, might as well have strong ones. And some Tenno may actually side with the Man in the Wall eventually. Just for him to be their pieces. But yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on the Man on the Wall. I don't think he's entirely good or evil. I just think he just is. And it's just the people kind of shape him, like how in Dragon Age, that's what happens with the spirits. Well, I haven't played the new game, so I don't know if they've changed it, but in the other games, they mentioned that the spirits are they are very much, affected by people's perception of them. Especially in Dragon Age 2, where you get to see Justice. Which, I guess this is a spoiler for Dragon Age 2. Depending on how you level him up, Justice can become Vengeance. Well, but then again, that doesn't even matter towards the ending of Dragon Age 2. The ending is always somewhat the same. No matter what you do with Anders, which is a bit sad, but anyway. Yeah, that's how I kind of feel. He's just an entity that is just trying to get. Basically, he's has his finger in one of the Chinese finger traps with our reality. He just wants to be free. But he might begin to be twisted by those around him. Just like how the Chaos Gods are twisted versions of virtues, or the good twisted into the bad. Yeah, if I talk any more about this, I'm just going to be going in circles, because I have a bad habit of that. My brain just goes in circles to the point of madness. Yeah, let's see. Oh, and I do have a question for anyone who's watching this, for everyone who's watching this. Would you like to watch me bash my head against a steel path? Because I have not tried it since it was released. And I tried it once. My Valkyr did not get very far. I think I got maybe 10 kills at most before I ran out of lives. That was how difficult it was for me for that. Yeah, I have not touched the steel path. I know there's the entire system steel path. There's the 1999 steel path. And then there is the circuit steel path. Oh, I wanted the pet. There. Eh. But yeah, and I do know that there's the boss fights which you can do, like on Deimos. Like if you beat this on Steel Path, you get a thingy for your ship. And I've heard that there's a trophies for 1999 as well. Oh, also remembering about some things that have happened because of how long I've played. Do you guys remember when we had to use keys? Like to get to the void and to do these, the infested stuff, before we had Deimos. Back when we had to make keys to go to the derelict sector, which was the only way you could get Ekros, and how we had to use keys to get to the void instead of the void relics, so we can get our primes and stuff. Because I remember doing that until I got Nyx Prime. Because, let's see. I got Nyx Prime and my friend got Rhino Prime. Yeah, Nyx was the first Warframe Prime one that I actually grinded out. Nyx was the first one. Ash, on the other hand, I actually bought. I got him for 100 plat. Because, fun fact, I have never built the normal Ash. I am not kidding. It took me 2,000 hours to get Ash's systems. Which, by then, I already bought the normal Ash and leveled up. So I used the systems to buy the smoking ephemera for, that you get from the Stalker. Let me see if I could get to it. No, it's at the fog of war. Yeah, here we go. Smoking body. So yeah, so I got Ash Prime before I got Ash. So, yeah, so that took me a very long time. Which I've heard that a similar thing happened to Protea, where it was easier to get Protea Prime than to get Protea. Which I am one piece away from Protea. Yeah, I'm also one piece away from a lot of things. Like, I'm one piece away from Atlas. I am a piece away from Harrow. Let's see. I am one piece away from Neza. And one piece away from Protea. You can also see that I'm technically one piece away from Octavia, but I also own Octavia. I doubt my friend will see this, but that is a gift I've been working on getting him since Octavia Prime came out. But yeah, I usually have bad luck with coming to Primes, well, for getting things. Basically, if it's something I want, I will not get it. I will always end up with the last piece. If it's something I don't want, I'll get it. Like, for example, I didn't want to get, Hildren Prime, and I ended up getting her by accident. Same with Mesa. I got Mesa by accident. Yeah, it was Mesa, Hildra, and Siren. I got all by accident. Oh, and Zephyr. Zephyr's another one which I got by accident. But yeah. Oh, and Baruch. I got Baruch by accident. And you might be wondering, how do I get primes by accident? They're usually tied to something that I want, or what I used to do, which is I would just try to empty out my relics. Because I used this, before I went to go and empty this out, this list used to be twice as long. I have a really bad habit of getting relics and not opening them. So I have a lot of relics with stuff that I have yet to open. But yeah. I just wanted to get that stuff off my chest, since, like I said earlier, I don't talk during Warframe when I'm playing it, because I feel like I actually take away from the experience. Plus, when I play Warframe, I kind of just turn off almost everything else on my body. So I'm 100% focused. Well, as focused as I can be, since I always have to have 2 or 3 things going at the same time. Like, a lot of the time, I usually have music or a YouTube video going on when I'm playing Warframe by myself. Not while I'm recording. Simply because I don't want to. Feels like I have to sit there and not be having music or something distracting me. Well, any more distracting than I do with Pandora. Oh, and here's another thing. Does anybody remember back when there used to be a bed in here? Yeah, this place used to not be as red, and there used to be a bed back here where this mouth was. There also used to not be this over here. There's a lot less infestation here back in the day. There was the chair, and there was some more infestation, but it wasn't this heavily infested. Speaking of infestation, what happened to the fish? There used to be fish in here. Huh. Oh, no, there's the fish. Yeah, there's 2 fish in here now. There used to be a lot more things in the water. Interesting that they're all Cetus fish as well. Which does bring up a question. Where did he get the fish? How did he get the Cetus fish? I know none of those are from my collection, because all of mine are in here. And yes, I do enjoy doing the fishing in this game. I like fishing in most games. I have to admit that. But then again, I have to also specify that I grew up fishing with my grandpa. I haven't fished in over a decade though, because I am 28 now, and the last time I went fishing I was in my early teens when my dad took me fishing to a pond, a public pond, and had me try to catch fish with cheese. Yeah, my grandpa used to know this owner of this little like lake in town, and he would let me and my grandpa fish. Also, I used to be really good at fishing. I almost depopulated the pond. I caught 42 fish. One time I caught 3 fish on one hook, and then flung those fish into a blackberry bush when I reeled them in. But then again, this was when I was like 4. So I've been really prolific at taking life ever since I was little. Yeah, I'm just degrading into rambling about my life. But then again, I guess that's technically what I'm going to be calling this. It's just me talking while in Warframe, or something around those lines. You guys want also let me know if you want me to do more of these, or it's just me talking about stuff while I have something to do, because I can't sit still. Never have been. Which to my dad is an anathema. Because he sees me sitting here playing games, and he probably thinks I'm sitting still when I'm doing this. But I am doing this a lot of the time. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should be talking about. Any other thoughts I've had on Warframe? Oh, I guess I could do the story. I could tell you the story of the reason why Valkyrie became my main. Remember how I told you I was very dumb? And I got all the way to Jupiter, primarily using my Excalibur, the Mark 1 weapons, and broken mods. I don't have the broken mods anymore, by the way. I sold them years ago. I didn't know that they would stop giving them to new players, so I didn't keep them. But yeah, I don't remember if he was on Phobos at the time, because back in the day, I think the Sergeant, you know, like how we have the invasions, and how we have the assassinate. Oh, do I have the stock for it? Yeah, I do. I just need the barrel. I've been working on that for years, by the way. Anyway, you know how in the invasion we get the assassination for when the infested outbreaks happen? I was told this by a more experienced Warframe player that I used to play with. That the sergeant and I don't know who else. I think maybe it was this guy. Used to be like they would invade a planet, and depending on and basically factions could trade planets back in the day with invasions. I don't remember if it was still happening when I was playing, because I didn't pay attention to invasions or who held what planet. I kind of was just doing my own thing at the time. But yeah, I don't remember if he was on Phobos or I think he was on Phobos. Basically, I fought Lieutenant Lekrill, and for the life of me, I could not beat him by myself. So, for the very first time, I went and played public. Because up until then, I only played with friends and by myself. And when I played public, for the first time, I was only joined by one person. That person was somebody who was using Valkyr. And they really helped me beat him. I just learned by watching how they fought him. And they would always get me up and help me. So, kind of like... Basically, if you ever watched that animation, I think it was made by Mashed? I don't remember who it was. Where it shows the Excalibur and then suddenly the Oberon appears. Let's see. No, wrong one. Profile. Glyph. Yeah, these guys. This one. Yeah, the mashed glyphs. So yeah, basically, I think it was an Oberon. Yeah. She was basically this. To me. That one lone Tenno that was doing using a Valkyr back in the day. And then when eventually I unlocked Valkyr and used her, I actually really liked her. And to be completely transparent, the reason why I kind of fell in love with using Valkyr is her one ability. The rip line is very helpful when you are bad at this. Because I am still very bad at it. And the rip line is so helpful for movement. Especially there's some areas which I still can't access without using it. Like, there's this one room where there's a giant basically pointing at like the secret cache in the room. And after you open the secret cache, I still can't get in there without using Valkyr. I've tried everything, and I still need Valkyr to get in there because of the rip line. So yeah, so her one ability is what made me fall in love with her. And then I used her fourth ability, which I was told when my friend saw me using it for the first time, the one who's played the games longer than I had. He told me that the original version of it was kind of like, which I actually saw when I watched her trailer, which is completely different now. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, she would, like, be in the air, she would attack, go back into the air, and attack again. Kind of like how Ash's thing is, but a lot slower. And a lot more brutal, because I think Ash's one is different now. Let me see. Let's see. Lightstorm, projectile, fierce shadow clones of Ash. Yeah, back then you actually had to target with Ash for his Blade Storm. And when you would let go, he would teleport to each one, killing them. Which is very handy. Especially when you're in a situation where you need to be not there. Or, so you have some time to regen some shields and health. But anyway, and then he saw me use Valkyr, and he saw that the fourth ability had changed to, basically, it was a better version of what we got now. What we got now is kind of like a somewhat nerfed version. I say somewhat because back in the day, you didn't have that damage circle, and there wasn't more ability drain the longer you used it. It was basically you activated it, and it kept on going as long as you had energy, and there was really no negative. And then they did the update where the longer you use it, there's increased ability drain, and ability range actually hindered the ability because it would cause the circle to get large.
The system continues to fall into chaos. Check navigation for active invasions.
Because that circle, basically unlike back then, unlike how they nowadays, when Valkyr gets hit while she's in that form, she stores up the damage. And she takes a portion of that damage if she gets out of it while near an enemy. Well, back in the day, that wasn't a thing. So, when they introduced that, I actually had to take off my stretch, which I used to use on Valkyr for the Riplash. Because Hysteria was my panic button. Which is, if I see my health is getting low, I go to Hysteria. I never really used it as her main thing. Her main thing was always the Riplash and the War Cry. I never used Paralysis. That's the reason why my Valkyr doesn't have it. I got rid of it for Yvel's ability. Because it just kind of worked. Outlap that way. And I have been debating if Darga Scythes are better or not, but yeah. I have been on the lookout to see if I can find anything as a replacement. Like, I thought about Caliban's one. If I can find it. I know there's Caliban down there. Where is Caliban? Also, I also recently learned, they changed, Honoris. So he doesn't have Devour anymore. And that his fourth ability got moved to his third ability. And now his fourth ability is something else. I haven't used him since before then. I am still working on trying to get a Norse Prime. which one day I do want to get. Oh, also I have a mod, I think that's called this, Firewalker. Which I got a long ass time ago, and it took me a long ass time to level up because of how much it needed. What's this? Passive remove, there's a chance for enemies killed. Melee. Okay. I never, oh, Master Summon. Also, I don't know if they changed Grendel's moveset. I don't remember how it was before. Because I got his prime recently, and I don't remember if that's changed or not. Also, Wami is one of my... Wami is gone to one of being the Warframes, which I really like her gimmick with the... It reminds me of the old days. Where we would, when you went into a mission, you had challenges which you could complete, where you would get more affinity. It just kind of reminds me of those days. Also, a good thing that they did, that they got rid of, back in the day, you had 4 revives a day. You heard that right. I think it was 4 revives a day. Because when I started, I had 20-something revives. And every time you would revive, the revives would go down. And I don't remember if you had to pay to get more revives. It's been so long. Let's see if I can find him. Oh no, it's not. I thought Caliban's was summoned sentient. Never mind. But yeah, I've just been thinking. Whenever time a new Warframe comes out and I see what I can assume from it, I always try to see if it's would be something that can help Valkyr. Because I have gotten yeah, diminished slow, so yeah, that's the reason why I've always been hesitant on it, is because it doesn't last that long. While for the other one, it lasts a lot longer. But yeah, if it was the sentient summoning thing instead, I probably would have put that on my Revenant. Also, I don't have a timer for this. I just thought of just making an episode of just me talking. Because just giving some of my thoughts about stuff. Mainly Warframe. But I do get off topic and distracted very easily. Like, recently, I finally completed my fragments. This was painful. It wasn't as bad as what I've heard from other people, but it was still painful. Like, I saw somebody it took them an entire month to get all these. Luckily for me, I didn't have that bad of RNG. Yeah, I finally got everything picked up. I had to look up a guide for this one. Well, I had to look up a guide for the Lost Islands and the Prax. And I think I also had to look up a guide for Cetus as well at one point. Because it is hard to find the glass fragments. Why, for the Cephalon ones, I just needed just a general direction to get. Yeah, I remember when me and my friends first started playing, one of them got annoyed and we wondered if we would ever get a option to like have other cephalons. But I think my friend really wanted to have a female cephalon instead. But yeah, nowadays we have 2. Unless you count Helminth, then we have 3. Then again, because Helminth, I always could see Helminth being like a backup cephalon, just in case we ever lose Ortis. I know he's not a cephalon. I know he is a, well, technically they are a mass technocyte, which I very much do like the Helminth. You might have noticed that my Helminth is named Viz. I recently learned that's a streamer's name. I think she's a streamer. I saw her at one of the new Tennos that I've watched. I've been watching Shenpai because she started playing well, I've been watching her for a while, but I was watching her play. And then I noticed, like, oh yeah, there's somebody named Viz out there. I should probably tell the story why I have my Helminth named Viz, so if anybody watches this and knows her and doesn't come to any conclusion. Back in high school, I started playing D&D. I only started it because my friend decided he'll give it a try, and I joined him. I made several characters. One of them's name was Viz. He was a shard mind shaman who eventually became the king of the lizards. And not just any lizard, giant lizards that breathe fire. And no, I don't mean dragons, they were literally giant lava lizards. And he kind of was like, and I've always reused the name because he was one of my favorite characters I've ever played as. That campaign had to be cut short due to, well, we never even finished that campaign. Due to problems with, oh hi, with scheduling. But yeah, Viz, that was why I named him Viz, because my Helminth is named Viz because he's the name is from a character that I made, which the most recent incarnation of Viz was funny enough, in another D&D campaign. I had a homunculus as a familiar, which I named Viz. And my friends treated him like a Pokemon. So he would always say his name in their minds. And at one point, I gave him a gun. And, my friend made this very funny picture of my homunculus in the background with a gun screaming, going, Viz, Viz, bang, bang, bang. So yeah, that is the story behind Viz. Where I went from a shard mind to my Helminth to a familiar. So don't be surprised if you see me play a game and I name something else Viz, because Viz is, like I said, has a I have fond memories of it from each character that I've named Viz. And I guess I should end this with one last story. My name. You might be wondering why my character's name is. When I first started playing Warframe, I didn't think of anything about my name. So I just put my name as what I had as my user tag, which was, back in the day, MP Zam. which was music person Zam, because I play a lot of music when I used to play a lot of music when I played games, and I would always like really much like listening to music, like games music. Hell, I have an Octavia Prime as well that, though I haven't used her as much as I used to. I use her for defense missions on Jupiter. I used to use her a lot on Jupiter until they redid the Jupiter maps. Yeah, and then when we started doing D&D and stuff, and it made me actually start using my creativity that I had suppressed for so many years. Running for how many years? Almost a... Let's see, I suppressed my creativity from 4th grade all the way until high school. Which, I also have ADHD, but I had internalized it since I was in the 1st grade. No, 2nd grade. When I failed 2nd grade the first time and had to redo it, I internalized my ADHD. So now, why I physically, if you look at me, I don't look ADHD. My brain is not there anymore. My brain is going 1,000 miles an hour at all times. I forget what I'm doing. I go to sleep to something else. Though, if you do watch me a while, you will see that I am still doing things. Like, tapping my foot, my legs are always restless or doing whatever. I'm still a bit hyper, I just don't show it due to how I was raised by how the school basically was teaching me about stuff like that, which also is how my creativity got suppressed for so long. But by the time I got my creativity, my hand was messed up, so I couldn't draw anymore. I used to draw a lot when I was very little, but as I've grown up, my dominant hand has become more and more messed up to the point where I can't draw anymore. It hurts to write and it hurts to draw. That's also the reason why I use a controller. I don't use mouse and keyboard, even though the mouse and keyboard probably would make my hand hurt less, but my brain's too wired for a controller since I've been using it since I was... Technically, I used mouse and keyboard the first time I ever played games, but I've been using a controller since I was 4? Well, technically it wasn't a controller, it was a handheld console, but yeah. Yeah, but where was I? Oh right, my creativity, my main. So I made a so I made my creativity, and I've basically decided if I am ever like, you know, like how because Isekai was so well. I don't know if back when I made it, if Isekai was very that popular. I know the first Isekai I ever saw was Mars. Or Mar, whoever it was, which I can never find it anywhere to watch. Well, yeah, my D&D like persona has been Zedman Ger Match. And the last name of that actually comes from a dream I had, which it's and I don't mean like I dreamed to be something, but more like an actual physical dream I had, like which I don't feel like telling because as I've gotten older, I've been losing more and more of the details of that dream, even though I used to be able to tell people how the dream was crystal clear years ago. Yeah, so that is the name. The Zedman, the first name. Ger for the middle name is reference to my first name. And for, I guess, the simplest explanation for why Magic was the last name in my dreams, my last name, Verissimo. Growing up, I've always had an issue with people not saying it correctly. So in one of my dreams, I took the name Magic because, you know, at least at least I know you're messing with me when you don't say it right. Because I grew up with people always messing up my last name. But yeah, that's base. But yeah, that was the story behind my name. Oh, it's for Zedman, by the way. For Zednu, Zedman was taken. When I decided, oh, I'll try to uniform my accounts so they'll all be Zedman. Zedman was taken. So I settled for Zednu. Because I kind of outgrown the MP Zam name. Because unlike my I was really never a fan of the whole XX whatever XX, because I don't want to even I still don't understand what the point of that is. Was it something that people did when the name was taken? I don't know. Then again, I have never been really good with anything with modern society, cultures, and stuff. I've always been more focused on ancient or past stuff that is no longer cultures that are no longer around, because they're easier for me to understand. Don't know why. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, I think I'll call that this episode. If you guys want me to do more of like these type of me just talking and telling stories, why I just go around the ship doing this, let me know. And also, if you ever just want me to do the Steel Path, like have me record that, just also let me know, because like I said, I haven't done it since it was released. And I never got the first level, no matter how many times I tried. Oh, I could do Saya's Vision on the Steel Path as well. Huh. Interesting. But yeah. I'll see you all in the next